In today's video, we're going to review how to build a customer within Sage Intacct. We'll start by navigating to Accounts Receivable and Customers. In the top right corner, we can click Add. The customer ID will default in if we have document sequencing turned on. It is best practice to have document sequencing turned on so that the IDs are consistent and so that you don't have to manually set them each time. If you prefer, you are able to turn this off, and you would manually enter in the ID here if you do have it off. First things first, we'll enter the customer name. Below, we'll enter our contact information of the contact we have at the customer. If we don't change anything on the contact tab later, this address is where invoices will be sent. And if we want to email invoices, it's important we set the email address over here. Once we have that set, we can navigate to our Additional Information tab. The first section of this next tab lets us enter in some details about the customer. This is good for tracking the customers, and we can even use them for filtering on reports later on. I'll set the type, our sales rep, and what territory the customer is in. For invoicing details, it's good to always set the term so that you're not manually entering in due dates whenever you have to enter in a bill. Set net 30 for our customer here. These remaining fields are optional. If you like, you can add in a credit limit. The credit limit doesn't restrict anything in the system, but is good for informational purposes. And if you ever need to, you can mark the vendor on hold. Depending on your settings, this will either trigger a warning or an error when you go to generate an invoice. For statement and invoice delivery, you can specify whether you want to print or email them, or you can do both. If you choose email or both, you will of course need to have an email address set for the customer. You can skip default retainage percentage, as this will be set on the project. It's best practice to always leave taxable checked. And then if you need help with your taxes, just please reach out to us. Tax group, we can leave blank. In this system, you'll specify printed documents to use for different types of transactions. But on the customer record, you can specify a template that will apply specifically to the customer if that is needed. You can do the same for email templates. After all of this is set, we can move on to our contact list tab. By default, all of these will be set to the same contact that we have on our customer tab. But here we can also specify if we want to create a different contact to ship to or to bill to. So I'll create a new bill to contact here by first setting the category. And then I'll specify who our bill to contact is. Once I have this set, I can set it here. From here, we can go to our Restrictions tab. On this tab, we can specify any restrictions we want to apply to the customer. By default, they'll be unrestricted, meaning they can be used in any location, entity, and tagged to any department. Our next option is we can restrict them to top level, so they can only be used at top level, as the name implies. And then our final option gives us more flexibility in restricting the customer. We can choose certain locations or entities to restrict the customer to. And if these are set, then the customer won't even be visible in the other entities. From there, we can specify certain departments that the customer can only be tagged to. If you wanted, you could also only restrict departments, but let them be used in any location. Please note that the department restrictions are less robust than the location restrictions. They can still be seen by other departments, but you can only save them in a transaction with the departments that you restrict here. Once this is all set, you can go ahead and save your customer.